let's talk about the last quality of heaven, which we've just were alluding to, which is that heaven is based on eternal things, not temporal things.
Okay.
This is, can you look up John 18:36?
Yes, Pilate is asking Jesus about his kingdom. Jesus answered, "My kingdom is not of this world. If my kingdom were of this world, my servants would fight so that I should not be delivered. But now my kingdom is not from here."
This is what Swedenborg says about that. Divine providence focuses on our eternal state at every step of the journey. People who are engaged with divinity base their thinking on the Lord and are thinking in eternal terms even while they think about what is present to them. So they say to themselves, "What is anything that is not eternal? Aren't temporal things nothing at all by comparison? And don't they become nothing when they end? What is eternal is different. It simply is because there is no limit to its being." Thinking like this is thinking in terms of eternity even while we are thinking about what is present. And when we both think and live this way, then emanating divinity with us, or divine providence, focuses on the state of our eternal life in heaven at every step of our journey and is leading us to it.
I've sometimes found it really useful to, when you're in a jam or life looks absolutely hopeless, or it's useful sometimes to, I just imagine going 10,000 years ahead. How important is this 10,000 years from now? And what's helpful from the kinds of things that Swedenborg says is that there are things about right now that do affect my situation 10,000 years from now.
Yes.
But they are, and I find it a useful exercise because it's not just that, this will all be completely meaningless. Like, what a waste of time and energy to even have lived now. I should just go there.
Yeah.
No, the way you live now, but realizing that, I have a choice right now. Often in those situations, there's some choice about, well, is it about my ego or is it about, somebody else or doing the right thing or something like that?
Yeah.
And those things do impact your 10,000 year picture. And it must be so interesting to be in heaven because you would really understand that, wow, how important was it that you were the head of the deputy something to the something, that you worked so hard to get. I mean, that was a position in which you could be useful to people. That's great. But how important, if you sort of treasured that title, well, that's my title,
Right.
It's so not important. They've seen all these things come and go. Good health, bad health, all of it. It all comes and goes, But there are things that are lasting. And wow, you really want to live in that the whole idea of heaven is living in things that persist.
Yes.
Forget the churn and the turnover and all that other stuff that comes and goes. Swedenborg is often imploring us to think in terms of eternity and keep that in mind right now, because it's true, and that's where we're headed, and it can kind of sort your priorities sometimes.
That's great. I love that. The position you're talking about. I got this position. The director of whatever he said. There's something eternal in that. The eternal thing, though, is not the position. It's your attitude toward the position. That's eternal. Because if you have, some people need to have that position, and we hope good people get it.
Yep.
Your attitude toward, if you get some high position in the world, and you think, look at this, that means I'm better than people, and it reinforces that people are of little consequence compared to me. And
I can crush my enemies now, finally.
It gives free rein to my worst impulses, okay. Then that is eternally bad. Your position itself means nothing because it'll be gone soon, you'll be left with that. However, erase that. If you have that position, and in that position, when it counts, you think, well, I'm in no way superior to any other person. I believe that I'm in this position because God has put me here, just like he puts everyone where they need to go. the reason I'm here is that there's goodness I'm supposed to be doing through this. I'm here to serve whatever human beings I interact with through this and try to do what's right at the behest of God, who I'm always trying to parse, like, what's the right way to live. And I'm humble. That attitude, that's a permanent part of you, because attitudes can last forever. So in everything, you have your life. It's not like, oh, I only think of eternal things. Well, what's going to be eternal? If you look around the world, well, these trees, they're not going to be eternal. Maybe this granite mountain will be here in 20 million years. Okay, is that what I think about? No, your attitude toward your job, your attitude toward your spouse, your attitude towards your coworkers and your people you know in your life, the things you live and believe in, those are eternal. And particularly, the good stuff is what stays. So that's all it is to say, I know what lasts and I know what's important, what builds the kingdom of heaven. It all comes down to, if this is contributing to the kingdom of heaven, then, and that's what I care about, then God's aim, which is always taking that long view through the temporary things, and my aim converge.
Yes.
And then you're living the life of the kingdom of heaven. Okay, so where did we get to here, and how did we get there? Let's bring this all together at the end.
What's striking me about